everyone, this is Peak Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video for you. And in continuing the tribute to the late great Gene Hackman, I will be reviewing some of his most outstanding movies. And in this video we could be talking about possibly his best film, and that is the powerful race drama Mississippi Burning. Released on December the 9th 1988, it stars of course Gene Hackman alongside Willem Dafoe, Frances McDormand, Brad Dourif and Michael Rooker. The movie was directed by Alan Parker. Now, Mississippi Burning is loosely based on real-life events within Mississippi, where in 1964, on June 21st, 3 civil rights workers, 2 Jewish, being Andrew Goodman and Michael Schwerner, and 1 black, being James Chaney, were first arrested in a county jail. They were released on bail 7 hours later and followed by a station wagon into the woods, and the 3 were murdered. The bodies were found nearly 2 months later underneath a earth dam in a farm just outside of Mississippi. And the movie charts these events closely, first opening with the murder itself, before showing the FBI investigation being led by agents Rupert Anderson and Alan Ward. We see the contrast of the 2 personalities, with the much younger Ward, very idealistic and wanting to do everything by the book, and the more experienced Anderson, who was a former sheriff, who believes in far more subtle, less formalised approaches in order to do the job. As the 2 look for clues and interrogate families of victims and potential suspects, they clash several times, at first with the local sheriff police, later on then the town mayor and also parts of the media. Amidst the notorious existence of the Ku Klux Klan and racial attitudes within the town, their ongoing investigation incites further attacks on the black communities, as members are ambushed and beaten during church masses, houses are firebombed, and even when a witness comes forward to identify the attackers, they are eventually released in court and continue to persecute the civilians. However, both Ward and Anderson remain determined to find the culprits, and Anderson eventually realises that he will have to take action outside of the law in order to see justice prevailed. Now, when looking back at Mississippi Burning, it is truly an impactful, powerful and compelling film. It's that type of movie that I will always gravitate to. It's a film that has a point to make and a message to tell, and a film that has real depth and substance and significance, and you really feel the weight and importance immediately when you start watching, and that is maintained all the way through. And this film really moves as director Alan Parker instills a fierce momentum and urgency within scenes that are very harrowing and difficult to watch, regardless of what race you are or where you come from. As we watch numerous scenes of the black communities being attacked, it's still disturbing knowing that these events actually happened, and the film pulls no punches in these sequences, and they really evoke a lot of emotion and anger as you watch these scenes. Again, a real sign of the film's power. Now, as all great movies do, this film really operates on multiple levels. Obviously, from the outset, it's a reminder and a history lesson of the vicious nature of racism and cultural antagonism. As well as showing the Ku Klux Klan, the movie also shows the narrow-mindedness and short-sightedness of the white civilians within the community, and we get these short interview soundbites showing their perspectives, again giving an insight into how life was like. The movie obviously plays very well as a compelling detective and mystery story. We then look at the media's coverage and interpretation of events, how certain legal and political figures on the cameras speak of racial equality and seeking justice, but this is all just a front, just for public perception, and the continued coverage at times is a media circus, with these highly positioned individuals coming across as weak and also at times as buffoons. We then get the ongoing dilemma of doing whatever it takes to see justice prevailed. Should you always go by the book? But what if that doesn't work? How far should you go outside the law in order to uphold it? Does the end justify the means? Does the cause justify the actions? And this dilemma really defines the dynamic between both Ward and Anderson, as we get terrific scenes showing the clashes more so of approaches and philosophies. They both want to uphold justice, though admittedly Ward seems a bit more motivated as he constantly remarks on the current state of affairs and the need for change. Anderson seems a little more nonchalant at first, maybe too relaxed, but his resolve gets stronger, especially with his interactions with Sheriff Clinton Pell's wife and the trauma that she goes through as events intensify. Now, of course, another reason that this movie is so brilliant is because of all of the performances. Willem Dafoe is excellent as Ward. Very much the moral compass and conscience of the piece, and what a great run of movies that he was involved in at this time, as well as this film also be involved in the likes of Platoon, Born on the 4th of July, and To Live and Die in LA. Both Brad Dourif, who plays Christian Powell, and Michael Rooker as Frank Bailey, almost concerningly are too convincing in their roles as perhaps the main movie antagonists. Frances McDormand also has a substantial role as Christian Powell's wife, and in the beginning this was quite surprising as we see her communicating with Anderson, and you think she's just going to be the standard love interest, but over time her character becomes much more involved and integral and more empathetic as she goes through various dramatic struggles as the story progresses. But of course, at the centre of this film, as to why I continue to pay tribute, is Gene Hackman, and in this role as Anderson, I really do hold it as amongst his greatest screen performances. Here he exhibits his usual charm, charisma and relaxed likability that we saw certainly from his more lighter comedic roles. Once more his character seems more at ease with what's going on. But as we get into the later stages of the film, we then see the rage, the anger and the reckoning, very much where the Pompadour from the French Connection comes out. We see this most in the often referenced scene where Anderson sits amongst the main suspects, grabbing Michael Rooker by the balls and letting him know that they can't mess him around. It is no doubt a fantastic moment. But personally for me, it's the later sequence where the culprit of the attackers are discovered and Anderson unleashes the fury of justice and retribution, and Hackman's display of rage and anger as he constantly asks the question, "Did you smile when you saw the bodies piled up?" is absolutely unmissable, and one of the most intense and satisfying moments within the entire film, and it cements a towering performance from the actor and another sign as to why he was rightly recognised amongst the greatest screen performers within the 20th century. We then go on to the movie's overall release, and it wasn't a big box office blockbuster, grossing only $34.6 million from around a $15 million budget. And to be fair, a film of this type of subject matter was never going to be a big box office smash. But it did receive multiple critical acclaim and recognition. Overall, it was awarded 7 Oscar nominations, including for Best Picture, Actor, of which Hackman was nominated, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, Editing, Sound and Cinematography. Overall, it managed to win only one for cinematography. It ultimately lost out to Rain Man, which overall won 4 Oscars for 1988. Now, whilst Rain Man is a very good film, very much fueled by Dustin Hoffman's performance, having seen Mississippi Burning again recently, I really do think that it was the superior film and indeed the most impactful film, and it definitely should have been awarded the Best Film Oscar for this particular year. And in that regard, we asked the question as to whether Mississippi Burning is one of the most important movies within the 1980s, and I would say resoundingly yes. I would easily have it up there within the likes of, let's say, Platoon, The Colour Purple or Full Metal Jacket, that real presence of a film that may not be the most rewatchable, but whose story and most importantly message needs to be heard and listened to, and that's what really makes Mississippi Burning such an important film, and without doubt one of the greatest entries within Gene Hackman's long career. So there's my overall thoughts and feelings when looking back at Mississippi Burning. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any other further movies, television series or any other topics within the pop entertainment and culture scene that you'd like to see me cover within the channel, then also let me know within the comments and I will see if I can provide further commentary for you on that subject matter within the future. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves and I will see you very, very soon.